What up, Earthbound Army? Hope everyone's having an awesome day. Another video on Earth 2. I know I'm just spitting them out at this point in time. But in this video, E2 the boss and a few of his guild members, I suppose, had a voice chat with Nathaniel. And Nathaniel, again, dropping lots of bombs and saying a lot of interesting things that we need to clarify because it got lost in translation a little bit. So let's take a look at the video. Okay. And shout out to Earth 2 Breaking News. Look, we're not about stealing content here, so credit to Earth 2 Breaking News for posting this up not too long ago. And it's just an audio recording of their conversation.
Well, good morning, welcome.
How's the video? How's the video looking, Nathaniel?
You mean the video on Tuesday?
Yeah, it's probably looking super nice, eh?
Yeah, sure.
That's not very confident, man.
He just woke up, man. He just woke up, guys.
Yeah, I just woke up.
Yeah, sure. Give him a break.
Spent a lot of money, so I hope it looks good.
Hey, congratulations on all the success, brother. Honestly.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Crazy.
Amazing.
We love it.
Yeah, we're really happy to be around for it.
I'm counting down.
Okay. So,
Goodbye.
what's up?
We're just sitting.
Nathaniel's energy is just like so low. Look, I'll give him a pass, he just woke up, but geez, his enthusiasm is not contagious at all.
Like, I have a question personally. Like, you know, I saw you say like it's gonna be kind of Red Dead Redemption level graphics. Like, between us, like, is that, you know, what do you like? Is that a claim that you hope to achieve one day, or is it really looking like that?
Oh, it's looking more detailed than that, I think.
Okay, my man.
So let me pull up a video of Red Dead Redemption and see what we can expect and whether we believe it's going to look better than Red Dead Redemption. Okay, so this is a 4K video, gameplay video of Red Dead Redemption. It's recorded in 4K at ultra settings on PC. Now I just want you to look at, ignore the gameplay so much, but look at the water, look at the gaming environment, look at the foliage, look at the physics, look at the fire, right? This is 4K ultra settings on PC. Animal textures, grass textures, look at the flattening of the grass, and you can see the grass is swaying with the wind there. Sorry for all the vegans out there watching this video. So not only are we expecting something better than this, according to Nathaniel, but we're also hoping, or I am also hoping, that what is released tomorrow in the terrain video is not kind of cinematic trailer, okay? Because we all know cinematic trailers can be bullshit, right? It doesn't really depict what the actual gameplay will look like, and they may not know what the actual gameplay may look like. They may have not gone that far into development, but to just give us terrain video that is like a cinematic trailer doesn't really tell us what the true potential of this game will be, or what we should expect it to look like once they fully implement the gameplay mechanics.
Worried about something else that I've been thinking about for a while. So Wolfgang had previously mentioned, and I think I had a conversation with you a long time ago, or just a quick text message, where I had asked what you guys were going to do about like user implemented content, so user generated assets.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most of my question is since that's more or less confirmed, yeah?
No, not at all.
No, okay.
No, because Wolfgang would like to have it, but technically it's super challenging. So,
Okay.
I mean the GPUs only have a limited amount of memory. You can't just put like 20,000 of buildings in there.
Yep.
Okay. So
Despite Wolfgang really wanting that feature in the game, it's going to really be a challenge to implement that, because GPUs only have a certain amount of memory, and for them to render a world with Red Dead Redemption type graphics, level graphics, right, and then also be able to generate user created content as people are playing within the game. That is going to be so intensive. If you think of it this way, right? Back in the day when you played games, you'd have a loading screen, and essentially that loading screen was just, you know, the game doing everything in the background to try and load that next phase of that world for you. The latest God of War game did away with that by loading within the cinematic trailers, right? So they would have, instead of having loading screens and stopping immersive gameplay, they would have the game preload the environment while cinematic trailers were happening in the background. And these days, games can be good enough where it just preloads and pre-renders as you play along.
Now that I have you here, our conversation just the past few days, like, what's I heard Shane wants to get a customer service phone number, like a customer support.
Yeah.
You think he's going to implement better mods in the E2 official?
You mean in the Discord? Yeah, this is something Thomas manages basically. So
I know, but Thomas is one person to handle like 20,000-30,000 people.
So this is interesting, given what we know happened to E2, the boss, right? He got hit by the banhammer, and he wasn't too happy with one of the moderators there. So in the voice chat here, they're asking about implementing a new customer service and implementing more paid people to moderate the official Discord server.
yeah,
It's too much for him, you know.
yeah, I think we will search another person, you know, that also like on his level.
Any time frame on that? Not really, huh?
Not really. No, we have to make all these jobs basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're also working on that. Like on the website, we have a separate page where all the jobs will be.
So it looks like they're hiring, which shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone because they've got all our money, and you know, this thing is getting more and more traction every day. So obviously they're going to hire for a new development team, more community managers, and everything else. So keep an eye out on that.
The devs, and they're gonna chit chat a bit.
Yeah, I think that's the idea. Yeah, and after the video, we do another live stream basically. I think so.
So after the video,
You think Dubai is gonna open with Israel and all the other countries, or just
No, I think it's
UAE?
just Dubai.
Just Dubai? Yeah.
Guys, are you worried about the servers? Like, it feels like it's going to be intense with the countdown.
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's also a good test, I think, to see
True.
how it can handle.
Why are the
Nathaniel-
servers slow today, Nathaniel? Like when I click on notification.
So he says like it's a good test for the servers just to see. Like, I'm not a fan of that idea. Let's just see how the servers cope with Dubai. It's like, come on guys, just be prepared because Dubai's gonna blow off, right? It's gonna kick off, and you guys, a lot of people are gonna miss out if your attitude is, oh, well, it'll be a good test. We've done what we can, but let's just test it out and see how we go. Because what if it crashes and then the early adopters, you know, those that managed to get in at a click of 0, just buy everything? I don't know. I just don't see the fairness in that. I'm not a fan of that idea.
I have an important follow-up question, actually. It's kind of a twofer. So the game, then, if you're not imagining user-generated assets as a thing, you personally, what do you see the game being ultimately, or rather, just in general?
Great question.
But basically, what's explained in the announcement, not the last one, but like what we said before.
It's more of a platform and less of a game. Just wondering if I can get confirmation on that.
No, the game itself will really be a real game with lots of games inside, basically.
So you're not imagining a social platform with the ability to do this, or are you rather?
No, it will also be a social platform, definitely.
But without the user-generated assets, okay.
Yeah, that is still in discussion. So,
well, here's the follow-up here. This is the twofer here.
So that's interesting, right? Because he's tiptoeing around it a little bit. and I feel like he is contradicting himself a little bit as well, because he's saying it will be a platform. Yes, it will be a social platform, because in the grand scheme of things, I think that's fairly easy to implement. And sorry if I offend any game developers out there, because I'm not one. But I see VR Chat and Rec Room and all these other ones available already as a social gaming platform. Earth 2, they're saying it will be a game within games. But in that sense, like, who's going to create the games? It's going to be user-created content. You can't just, create a platform that is a game and then allow games within that game and then say, but user-generated content is going to be really challenging and we may not have it. So, look, honestly, nothing against Nathaniel, but I feel like he's a little bit unprepared, and he's also trying to protect the NDA that he's probably signed and what he can and what he can't say. But in that sense, like, why go on a voice chat?
There's well, basically, is there going to be mature rated areas or something like that, or is that going to be a thing that you guys aren't going to be able to do? Because I understand that you want to keep a 10-foot pole between you and that sort of content, or at least that's what I had read in the other business. You guys said you wouldn't do any of that on your own.
Oh, you mean if it will be user-generated content?
No, because you've already said that your vision of it is there might not be. So if there isn't, do you imagine there? I guess there wouldn't be any mature content at that point. Yes.
No, I don't think so. It's planned to be available for all ages, so the game itself. So.
Okay.
Club.
Some of the guys in there are so disappointed there's not going to be any, mature rated gameplay. So interesting. We've already heard that betting, gambling, casinos, that kind of gameplay is not, I guess, not encouraged in Earth 2, even though you would think there should be a section off area. I don't know how they'll manage it, but for over 18s, I mean, let's be honest, in VR Chat right now, like, people are doing really shady things as it is, right? They're having like weird virtual sex and I don't know, shit like that. There's a bunch of weirdos out there. If you're one of them, sorry, I hope I didn't offend you. Go nuts, have VR sex all you want, but not my type of thing. Look, Nathaniel says it's a game for all ages, so
the game itself, and you don't imagine mature restricted areas or anything else like that?
No, I personally not, but we did not discuss this yet.
It's an important thing to discuss, if you ask me.
I agree.
They're not there yet, though, Fraser.
So yeah, still in discussion. Nothing has been confirmed. They will neither deny nor confirm that there will be mature rated content in the game.
I actually have a maybe off-topic type question. Where can we find information about the tax implications of the game? I've got a lot of people asking me, and I've got a team of accountants kind of working on my own account. I would love to relay some better information, a solid tax foundation type deal.
Yeah, the whole issue with that is like it's tricky with legal, that's why we can't reveal certain things.
Okay, so it's something that you will reveal at some point then?
I don't know.
Each
'Cause
country
otherwise
deals with their own taxes, depending of
Yeah.
your state, man, and your country.
Yeah, look, I also think that tax implication is dependent on your country and your current laws within your country. I wouldn't take any tax advice from the game developers because they don't have your best interests at heart. And when it comes to death and taxes, you want to get that right. So you speak to your accountant in that.
My accountants have been saying, however, I believe I saw something that was saying that it's all in-game money and it doesn't necessarily mean it's income. And when you pull it out, then it's just capital gains.
Yeah, I read something similar on the Australian Tax Office. If in-game, it's fine, but as soon as you pull it out and you've made a gain on it, then it could potentially be subject to capital gain.
Nathaniel, I have a question. Whether currency in Earth 2. Is there any correlation between Earth 2 and Libra?
Facebook.
Libra?
It's Facebook crypto coin. There's
Yeah.
a rumor going on, Nathaniel, that you guys are partnering with Facebook.
No, we are not. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay,
Thank
that's
God.
we already
Stay
knew
away
it,
from those
Nathaniel.
people, man.
It's just some people are talking a lot of.
Hey,
stupidity.
I have a
Speculation.
question, Nathaniel, actually. Okay, I seen in my settings, I see Etherscan, and it's when you click none, it pulls you up to Ethereum wallet.
Mhm.
I'm just really curious about if it links with Ethereum and or any type of crypto. Like, will you guys like put a crypto in the game?
I can't say anything about that either. I don't really know what that part is at the moment.
Well, there's no cryptocurrency that's going to be with the game, Nathaniel.
I don't know. It's we basically have multiple options that we're looking in.
Yeah, nothing
So-
for the next 6 months, basically, right?
Yeah, maybe it's like we are negotiating multiple things and like we can have all different outcomes.
What is the so I noticed that you guys were talking about advertising in the game, like that was a big thing for y'all. What's the draw to advertise in the game, in your opinion? So are you talking about advertising real life nonsense? What's the advertising gimmick there? Gimmick being a loose word.
Great question.
Yeah, what exactly do you mean?
Well, see, there is talk in the early FAQs and everything else like that. I haven't heard much about it since then, of advertising being on the land somehow or another. People being able to advertise on the land. What does that mean? If especially,
Yeah, that's a good question. That is something Shane has thought out since the beginning, and I don't know exactly what he has in mind for that. So, but I guess it's like a 3D thing, right? So you have you. Somehow can advertise on your land, and when you have a lot of traffic from people, they will maybe be able to click on something. Or I'm also very curious how that will work.
yeah,
Nathaniel doesn't
I'm
know.
going to be a broken record here and say once again that I don't think that you'll be able to do anything like that without user-generated content. I think it'll be completely a null and void concept. I mean, the game on itself could be cool in other ways, but the advertising business, the other stuff, that basically there's no, I don't see any need or use for money in the game at all, for real world money in the game at all, if user-generated assets aren't there.
Agreed.
It'll probably just, well, that part of the game will tank and you'll just own land in the game. I don't see how else you can draw money outside of your all's own user-generated assets. You'd previously said to me that you might have your own artists, and the artists might create the stuff for the game on the inside at request.
So I agree with what this guy's saying here. If you don't have user-generated content, I think the game, that portion of the game won't be as fun, because people's imagination and what they envision for their megacities right now really does depend on the ability to have user-generated content. If user-generated content is not allowed within the game, what I imagine as an alternative is for them to have a bunch of artists just pre-render or just create buildings, and we can select from the types of buildings that the artists have already created and made, and we will use that within game. That way they will reduce the load on the game by having to accommodate everyone's unique designed buildings. The game will have already accepted the pre-made buildings that the artists have made, and we will be allowed to use those buildings to populate our land and our tiles. That's what I think. Hopefully that makes sense.
Well,
like, in regards to the splitting up tiles, I was curious, like, are we going to be able, like, I noticed the comment about moving tiles around, splitting them up and adding them. Do you think that's something that's going to come into the game soon?
The splitting will be there first. Joining is more tricky, from what I've heard.
Yeah.
And how soon that will be, I don't really know. But I guess it's one of the important features they are working on.
What sort of games do you think we should be playing to kind of practice for the economic?
Stuff that Wolfgang has been working on before, like, for example, the Settlers. And, you know, if you know a bit the profile of Wolfgang and the games he worked on, he takes basically all that knowledge and puts it into this game.
Like, after everything, are you excited about the game, brother? Are you just,
Yeah,
you know, you're looking
super
forward to it?
excited. Yeah,
Hell
super.
yeah.
I mean, mapping the entire world, this is like crazy. I really like it.
Super cool.
Hell
Thank
yeah,
you
man.
so much
Thank
for
you.
coming, Nathaniel.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you, man.
So shout out to Earth2 Breaking News. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, and thank you for putting that online. So a lot of interesting points there. Sorry for the long video, but just adding my 2 cents on what I think will happen. So a lot of big news. But now that we've talked about the user-generated content, let me just make sure I bed all this. I put everything to rest. So confirmation from Nathaniel. Okay, British guy says, is there any weight to the claim that from SHP that Nathaniel mentioned in the voice chat that no user-made content will be available? Nathaniel then responds and says, I was asked if player-modeled buildings will be in the game. All I answered was, like always, here in general, player-made buildings on a massive scale are technically very challenging, and that we haven't decided this yet. So at least they acknowledge that it's going to be really, really difficult to implement that in game. Like, you know, it's easy for people to generate 3D models of whatever, but then to have that populate in game as you are walking immersively, it may be quite difficult. And I imagine that's used down the tracking way. So there you go. Thank you, boys, for bringing that to our attention. And with that said, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching the video. Sorry for the long video, and I'll see you in the next one.